My brother humiliated me at Dad's birthday dinner, demanding I scrub toilets like hired help. What he didn't know was that I held his entire future in my hands. My name is Maya, and I have been invisible in my family for as long as I can remember. Not because I failed at life, but because I succeeded quietly while my younger brother Derek made sure everyone celebrated his mediocrity loudly. Derek is 28, 4 years younger than me, and he has been the golden child since birth. Every minor achievement became a family celebration. Every setback was someone else's fault. My parents worshipped him, built their retirement dreams around him, called him the successor. Like we were royalty instead of a middle-class family in Ohio. I was the opposite, the overlooked one. The daughter who chose the wrong path, because I did not follow their prescribed formula for success. They had no idea what I had actually built over the past 8 years. I preferred it that way. For months, Derek had been insufferable in a new way, arrogant beyond his usual level, dropping hints about a major opportunity that would change everything. My parents ate it up, already planning how they would brag to relatives. I knew exactly what opportunity he meant, because I had created it. 3 months earlier, I had instructed my executive team at Hartwell Global to extend an offer to Derek Morrison for a junior manager position. Hartwell Global is a firm specializing in international business relations with offices in 14 countries. I am the majority shareholder and CEO, though I have kept that information private from my family for 8 years. I wanted to see if Derek had changed, if responsibility might humble him. I was giving him a chance he had not earned, a test he did not know he was taking. Dad's 75th birthday dinner was the night I got my answer. 23 family members packed into my parents' dining room, aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone who mattered in our family social circle. I arrived on time, brought an expensive bottle of Dad's favorite whiskey, and took my usual seat at the far end of the table where I could be easily forgotten. Dinner started normally. Derek dominated conversation, teasing details about his upcoming big presentation without naming the company. My parents glowed with pride. I stayed quiet, observing. Then Derek stood up mid-meal, wine glass in hand like he was making a toast. Instead, he pointed directly at me. "You know what I appreciate most about nights like this?" His voice carried across the room. "Being surrounded by successful people who actually contribute something meaningful to the world." The table went quiet. My mother smiled encouragingly at him. My father nodded. Derek continued, his finger still aimed at me. "Unlike some people here with their failed careers, pretending they are too good for family business, too proud to accept help." Laughter rippled around the table. Nervous at first, then genuine when my parents joined in. "Derek," I said calmly, "this is Dad's birthday. And Dad deserves to be celebrated by people worthy of being here." He took a long sip of wine, emboldened by the audience. "Which makes me wonder, Maya, what exactly qualifies you to sit at this table?" My mother actually nodded. "Derek has a point, sweetheart. You have been so secretive about your work. We worry about you." I said nothing. I had learned years ago that defending myself only gave them ammunition. Derek walked toward me, swaying slightly. "You know what? I need to use the restroom soon. Why don't you go clean the toilets first? Make yourself useful for once." The room went silent. Several cousins looked uncomfortable. My aunt opened her mouth to object. But before anyone could speak, Derek reached my seat. He looked down at my plate, still half full of the dinner I had been eating quietly. Then he flicked his hand across it, sending the plate spinning off the table. Food sprayed across the hardwood floor, pasta sauce splattering across my dress and the wall behind me. "Oops," he said, not even trying to sound sincere. "Guess you have something to clean up now anyway." I stood slowly, sauce dripping from my sleeve. The room held its breath. My father cleared his throat. "Maya, your brother is under a lot of pressure with his new position. You should be more respectful. He is going to be the one taking over the family legacy." My mother added, "Just apologize to Derek and let us get back to celebrating your father." I looked at Derek, at my parents, at the relatives who had watched this happen and said nothing. "I need to leave," I said quietly. Running away like always, Derek called after me as I walked toward the door. "That is why you will never be anything." I did not respond. I grabbed my coat, walked to my car, and sat in the darkness of the driveway for a long moment. Then I pulled out my phone and called my executive assistant. "Catherine, I need you to move the timeline up on Derek Morrison's final evaluation." "How soon?" she asked without hesitation. "Tomorrow. His presentation is tomorrow, correct? The speech to the International Board and investors?" "Yes, 150 attendees. We have the standard corporate speech prepared." "Scrap it," I said, watching the light from my parents' dining room window. Derek's shadow moved across it, probably still laughing. "I will write his speech myself tonight. I want it on the podium tomorrow. Marked as mandatory reading. He is to read it exactly as written." Catherine paused. "Are you certain?" I watched Derek through the window, gesturing wildly, probably reenacting his humiliation of me for anyone who had missed it. "He made his choice," I said. "Tomorrow, he will understand what he lost." I ended the call and drove home. I had a speech to write, one that would ensure Derek's big moment became something he would never forget. Derek had no idea that his triumphant presentation tomorrow would be the last professional opportunity he would ever receive from me. I woke up at 5 and wrote every word of Derek's speech myself. Each sentence was factual. Each detail was true. When I finished, I sent it to Catherine with specific instructions. By 8 in the morning, my phone was already buzzing with family group chat notifications. I glanced at them while drinking my coffee. Derek had posted a long message about his huge day and how he would be representing excellence on an international stage. My mother had responded with 15 heart emojis. My father wrote that he had always known Derek was destined for greatness. My aunt asked if I was okay after the incident last night. No one responded to her. Derek sent me a private text at 9. "Bet you wish you had my opportunities. Stay in your lane, failure." I did not reply. At 9:30, my mother called. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. Voicemail again. Then she texted, "You embarrassed Derek by leaving early last night. Family is supposed to support family. Call me back." I turned off notifications and headed to the office. Hartwell Global Headquarters is a glass tower in downtown Columbus, 32 floors of international business operations that I had built from a startup idea in my graduate school apartment. The lobby alone intimidated most visitors with its marble floors and multilingual reception staff. I took my private elevator to the executive level and went straight to the conference hall where Derek's presentation would take place. The tech team was doing final sound checks. Catering was setting up for the networking hour afterward. Everything looked perfect. Catherine met me in the preparation room. "The speech is printed and in the podium folder. Security has been briefed. Derek Morrison checks in as a standard junior candidate." "No special treatment," I confirmed. "None whatsoever." She handed me a tablet. "He posted this an hour ago." I looked at Derek's social media, a photo of him in his new suit with the caption, "About to change the game. Watch me rise. Success looks good on me." 400 likes already. My parents had shared it to their feeds. I handed the tablet back. "Make sure he does not see the speech until he is backstage. Tell him it is standard protocol to review materials privately before presenting." "Understood." Catherine hesitated. "The board members you briefed this morning were shocked by the footage. I had shown my inner circle the security camera video from my parents' house. Derek throwing my food, my parents defending him. Everything. They needed to understand why," I said simply. At 11, Derek checked in at the lobby. I watched on security monitors from my office as the receptionist treated him exactly like any other junior employee. Polite, professional, unremarkable. His smile faltered slightly. He had probably expected someone to recognize his importance. The family group chat exploded throughout the morning. My parents posted updates like they were covering a championship game. "Derek is at the venue. So proud of our boy. The Morrison name will shine today. Derek sent one more text to me at noon. This is what success looks like. You would not understand. I still did not respond. At 1:15, Catherine messaged me. He just received the speech folder, heading backstage now. I left my office and took the executive viewing area overlooking the conference hall. 150 people filled the seats below. International investors, board members, potential partners from 6 continents. This presentation was supposed to launch Derek's career into the stratosphere. He had no idea what was actually about to happen. I watched through the one-way glass as Derek was led backstage. He was smiling, confident, shaking hands with organizers. Someone handed him the speech folder with instructions to review it before going on stage. Derek waved them off casually, tucking the folder under his arm. Too important to need preparation, too confident to bother checking. The moderator began warming up the crowd, explaining the importance of today's international relations discussion. Derek stood in the wings, straightening his tie, practicing his smile. Then, finally, he opened the folder. I watched his face change. The confident smile disappeared. His eyes went wide. He flipped to the second page, then the third, his hands starting to shake. He looked around frantically, trying to find someone in charge. An organizer approached him, and I could see Derek's mouth moving rapidly, gesturing at the papers. The organizer shook his head, pointed to his watch. 2 minutes until showtime. Read what was provided. Derek's phone appeared in his hand. He was calling someone, probably my parents. Then he tried another number. No one was answering him during a workday. Then he tried my number. I watched it ring on my phone. I did not pick up. The moderator's voice boomed through the speakers. Please welcome Derek Morrison, representing Hartwell Global's newest international relations initiative. Applause filled the conference hall. Derek stood frozen backstage, the speech trembling in his hands. An organizer physically guided him toward the stage entrance. He stumbled forward, his face pale. The spotlight hit him as he reached the podium. 150 faces turned toward him expectantly. He gripped the edges of the podium, staring down at the speech I had written. He read the first line, silently. Then again. The color drained from his face. He looked up desperately, scanning the crowd. His eyes moved to the executive viewing area, searching. That is when he saw me. I stood behind the one-way glass that had just become transparent from his angle as the lights shifted. Our eyes locked across the conference hall. Recognition hit him like a physical blow. His mouth opened. The speech fell from his hands onto the podium. I stepped forward to the executive microphone, my voice carrying through the hall's sound system. The color drained from his face as he finally understood exactly who I was. Derek stood paralyzed at the podium, staring at the speech I had personally written for him. The room waited in silence. I watched from the executive level as he read the opening line again, his lips moving soundlessly. Yesterday, I humiliated my sister at our father's birthday dinner. I called her a failure, ordered her to clean toilets, and threw her food on the floor. He looked up at me, his face sheet white. I gave him a small nod. Read it or walk away. Either way, everyone here would know exactly what kind of man he was. Derek's hands shook. He could not read it. He could not admit what he had done in front of 150 international business leaders and investors. But he also could not just walk away without consequences. I stepped forward to the microphone in the viewing area. Since my brother seems unable to continue, allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Maya Morrison, majority shareholder and CEO of Hartwell Global. The room erupted in confused murmurs. Derek's eyes went wide with horror. Derek was hired as a test of character. He failed spectacularly. The position is rescinded, effective immediately. Security appeared at both sides of the stage. Derek tried to speak, his mouth opening and closing like a fish. Maya, wait. I did not know. You did not know I mattered. I said calmly into the microphone. You knew exactly who I was as a person. You simply did not believe I deserved respect. He stumbled backward as security reached him. Please, I can explain to everyone. It was not. The board has already seen the footage from last night, I continued. Your explanation is unnecessary. Security escorted him toward the exit. The room sat in stunned silence as Derek was removed from the building where he thought he would become someone important. I turned to the audience. My apologies for the disruption. Let me introduce our actual international relations manager, Jennifer Santos, who earned this position through integrity and excellence. Jennifer stood from the front row, composed and prepared. The presentation continued without Derek. Within an hour, Derek's celebratory social media post had been deleted. The family group chat went silent. Then my phone started ringing. My mother first. Then my father. Then my mother again. Then both of them together. Then my aunt. Then cousins I had not spoken to in years. I answered none of them. They appeared at my office building that afternoon. Lobby security called up. Maya Morrison's parents requesting access. They are not on my approved visitor list, I said. Understood. I watched on security cameras as my parents argued with the lobby staff, demanding to see me, insisting they were family. The security team remained professional and immovable. My father sent an email that evening. We did not know about your success. We need to talk about this. Family should communicate. I replied with one line. You knew who I was. You chose to believe Derek's version instead. My mother called from a different number, trying to bypass my block. Maya, please, Derek is devastated. He made a mistake. You are being cruel. I hung up and blocked that number too. I instructed my legal team to handle all future family communication. No drama, no screaming matches, just complete, professional distance. Derek applied to 17 companies over the next month. Hartwell Global's network is extensive. Word travels fast in international business circles. His reputation preceded him everywhere. I refocused on what mattered. Expanding Hartwell Global into emerging markets, mentoring young professionals who reminded me of my younger self, building something meaningful. Months later, the lady I hired for the international relations position Derek had wanted had done really well. She was brilliant, kind, and had overcome family obstacles similar to mine. She earned every bit of her success. I stopped checking the family group chat I had muted. Stopped wondering if they understood what they had lost. Their opinions became background noise I no longer heard. Sometimes I think about that dinner, Derek flinging my plate across the floor while everyone laughed. Then I think about his face when he saw my name on that podium announcement. I do not feel guilty. I feel free. Thanks for listening to the end. If you have ever been the scapegoat in your family, remember this. Your worth is not determined by people who refuse to see you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about standing up to toxic family dynamics and finding your own power.